What's going on, everybody? This is Al Fishing with Big Al. Welcome to the channel. About to head out and throw this top water bone dog lure. This is going to be my fourth session, my fourth day doing it. But I did notice yesterday, I'm throwing this light braid. It's like a 20-pound test that I'm throwing on my rod. And every now and then, I notice that when I put a little bit of snap into my cast, that I get a little backlash from my line. Not a lot, like you get that, every now and then. You ever throw your rod out and then every now and then you get a lot of line get tangled up. Well, that's not my case that's happening. Every now and then I get this little snag and then I try to find it, I reel it in, and then for the most part, I can just pull it and it'll go back straight, and the knot and everything that was trying to get in there will wear itself out, and I'll have a straight line again. I can just cast it right back out. Well, yesterday that wasn't the case. It happened on one of my casts, and for like the rest of the day, I didn't mess with it. I just left it alone. I tried to pull it and do my regular routine and snap it out of there, and it wasn't happening. So this morning, I woke up and I knew that snag, that knot was in there. And luckily, it was in the first probably half a second of my cast. As soon as I cast it out, I could feel it when it do that, like that little bump when it's going through the eyes to clear the small one. And you feel that little snap back or something like that, letting me know that knot is there, it's present. So I decided that I was going to either cut the line this morning before I leave, and when I pulled it out, I seen that it had too much line coming off before I reached it. Too much for me anyway. So anyway, I said, what I'm gonna do? So I found the eye where it was knotted at, and I tried to use my fingers. I tried to take my nails and try to separate it that way and get it back out, and it wasn't happening. So I started thinking outside the box, and I seen the eye, and I said, well, all I got to do is get myself into that eye, and I think I can get this free. So I went into the kitchen while the wife is still asleep, and I'm going to make this my personal tool. I grabbed a fork. I took a fork and I stuck it in that eye, and I'm going to put this fork, this is going to be mine. It's getting sacrificed. I'm taking that with me, and this is going to be my go-to tool when this happens. And I took that fork in, stuck it into the eye, and I just worked it and kept messing with it until I was able to open it up. And it's almost like taking a small nail or something like that and just working it back, working it through and separate it, open up that line. And that's what I did. So I was able to pull it. It freed itself, and now that knot is gone. And I don't have to worry about cutting line in order to retie my lure that I'm going to be using this morning, which again is going to be, which is going to be, for the most part, I'm going to be throwing this bone dog, right? This lure right here, this color, man, it was a ladyfish that hit it yesterday, and that was the only hit that I had from it yesterday. I couldn't get no action going. I was throwing for a while, and I left out of there. I got there between 6 and 7, and then I left out of there about close to 8 o'clock. I had enough, sun started coming up, and I figured that if nothing's happening then, it's not going to happen at that time. So I just decided I'm out. But I had some blow-ups on this lure. This silver and black, the color of mullet, is natural. That is the bait fish that's actually in these areas. So I'm just working it across, and I had some blow-ups. So I'm hoping to get over there early enough this morning, and hopefully I can run into something happening over there. I don't know if the place I'm going to may be the best for the results, because the tide is not coming in till after, between 6 and 7 is when high tide is supposed to be here. So I might be able to find something over there, but that is what I'm about to do. But this was just saying that if you do get upset, right, when you do that cast, hey, grab it while mama's asleep. Put it in your bucket, and then just go ahead and make that your tool, and you can save a lot of headache. Hopefully it works itself out. Like I said, when the knot gets in that line, it's just small. It just looked like somebody took an overhead knot and tied it, cinched it down, and that's what I'm dealing with. And when I'm casting, because the eyes are smaller as the line goes out, it grabs the eyes on its way out. So that's why I know it's there. But I did pull enough of it out, got to it, and I said, I don't want to cut it. So I grabbed the fork stuck it into the eye, and I just slowly worked it, pulled on it a little bit, didn't pull it tight, didn't want to cinch it down tighter where I couldn't get it into another area and try to open that up to untwist it. So once I did that, I just took my time in it, and voila. So hopefully I'm putting this in my bucket, and if it happens, because I did it like 3 or 4 times yesterday, but I was able to pull it, and then the fourth time, I think, when it happened, I pulled it and it didn't separate. It just stayed where it was at. So I said, okay, I'll work with you later. Right now, I can still cast. It's not nothing big. So I just continue casting. But yeah, that is something that worked. So anyway, that is just a little thing I'm throwing, a little scenario I'm throwing out, that if you have line, especially braid, it can do that to you. Mono does it a lot. When you have fresh mono, you get a lot of backlash. I've done it, and your weight is not heavy enough, or your rod is too flimsy or whatever, and you throw that cast, and all of a sudden you see your line come flying off that spool, and it backlashes. That's a headache, right? That's something you don't like seeing. But yeah, take a fork. Hopefully it works for you. You don't have to worry about cutting it. So anyway, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Be safe out there. I'm finna go get them. Fish on, baby. Y'all know what time it is. Be safe out there. God bless. Peace.